Good evening, Razorback fans. Welcome to another episode of the Hog Talk podcast, coming to you live from the Sterling Soap and Roastery Studios, part of the Believe and Buzz Radio Network, where you can hear us each week on 106.7 Buzz 2 in Central Arkansas. All live shows are coming to you by Arkansas Brewing Company in downtown Ozark. I'm Porter Hayes, and alongside me, as always, is Adam Hall. And tonight, for those who are looking on TikTok, I'm going live on the Ozarker TikTok page. So if you're seeing something new, for those, Adam, I don't know if they'll be able to hear you, but hey, we're going to give it a go tonight. But we'll start things off. Adam, we got to jump on with y'all last night, Hog HQ Live, and it was a blast. Had some fun and some jokes, and watching people getting shot on. A certain group of people. We're seeing if we could entice them and getting shot onto a mattress. So
some type of it was a good time.
Yeah. But anyways, we have the World Cup tonight. That's where we'll start. USA, Belgium tonight, covering the best hair on any Arkansas podcast. It's between him and Derek Ruskin. Well, Zach Ards. They got some good hair, but I'll give it to Adam Hall on that. So want to thank everybody for who's tuning in on our TikTok page. But Adam, it was a really good conversation last night, and DP, and we're talking about the expectations of the football program. But start with the World Cup, USA, Belgium tonight at 7. So we're going to be leading up to the match tonight. Are you going to be watching, or are you sticking to your guns and watching Monday Night Raw?
I will probably watch the World Cup and then watch Raw afterwards, just because it's on Netflix. Because with it being on Netflix, if I try to go back and forth, I'm going to run into buffering issues on Netflix. Yeah. So I'll probably just wait and watch Monday Night Raw after the game. Yeah,
it ain't like the good old days where we would watch Raw and WCW and Monday Nitro. Yeah. And I was going between 10 and 25 for us in Ozark. It was a TBS and TNT. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we would watch one. If we knew something was good coming on Raw, we would watch that, and then we would switch over to WCW. But I'm telling you, that Attitude Era, when you had Stone Cold and NWO, Goldberg, it was hard to pick and choose because both versions were top notch during that time in the 90s.
And then they would, had it planned out. And a lot of TV networks do this. Most TV shows go to commercial at the same time. Yeah. Or around the same time. So you couldn't flip to the other one during the commercial because they're both going to be on commercial at that time.
Yeah. So who do you think the United States wins tonight? Do you think it's going to be an 0-for-3 round for the host? Canada got beat. Mexico got very close there at the end of tying it at the end, but fell short there. So what do you think is going to happen tonight with the match against Belgium?
From what I've already seen, the fans have been there. The streets of Seattle have been just swarmed with people. So the fans are going to show up. They're going to be loud. They're going to be rowdy. I think you have to look at this from kind of two different angles. The United States gets a sigh of relief, a breath of fresh air, with getting I can't remember his last name, getting him back. That
was crazy. Yeah,
but with him coming back, I think. But at the same time, I think that makes Belgium that much more mad. That much more than it's basically like, okay, y'all are going to do this to us. We're going to step up our game a little bit. And I'm just going to precursor this, and this is the only time I'm going to say this during the show. The chain of events that occurred today, an independent committee was already meeting when somebody from Washington, D.C. decided to call FIFA. FIFA did not make this decision. This independent committee did. And this independent committee was already meeting before that phone call was made. So I know some are taking credit for it, and I know some are angry because they're making it a publicity stunt. But at the same time, because I've seen several Americans, come out and say, "Well, I'm rooting for Belgium now," and it's like, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, those chain of event, what's coming out of Washington D.C. is not true, because that independent committee was already meeting, and FIFA did not decide this.
Yes, when we talked about that last night on Hog HQ Live, was the fact that Courtney Mims put it out there that you cannot use slow motion replay to initiate a red card. And that is essentially what happened. Has nothing to do with the outside circumstances. Nobody made phone calls. Nobody. It was off of those circumstances. And I do think it's comical that, look, I think what's irritating about it, Adam, is look what's going on in the world. Look what's going on with the World Cup and how we're talking about, I want sports to bring us together. I want unity. And here we are, we're having some way, somehow, we're pushing this into where it's going to divide everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that, because you're having people come up with we talk about the Norway, the row, and the Netherlands when they were here, and everybody in the orange. I mean, we're seeing so much. The dude from Germany that you showed me that was crying because all he heard was, they hate us. America's a bad place. There's crime. There's this and that. And guess what? He loved it. He was in tears because the hospitality. Some random person picked him up, and it wasn't even an Uber. Some random person picked him up in Boston. And then you talk about the match the other day in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
All things we hear about California. You want to talk about what they hear about the United States. What we hear about California, you had 75,000 people singing Country Roads at the end. I mean, we're seeing the propaganda of they want us pointing fingers at each other, hating each other, and it's spewing on social media when we need to stop and look at what's going on with this World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And people from all over the world are like, this is one of the best countries in the world.
Yeah. Transplanted, to answer your question. Yeah, it's now win or go home. Once they hit the round of 32, it became win or go home. There's no more, double elimination, whatever it is. So when you lose, you're done at this point.
Yes, it is win or go home. You have group stages where it's like pool play,
Mm-hmm.
and then they go from there and go into the tournament. So this is the round of 16. So essentially, this would be to see who goes into the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
So they will be playing Spain. I believe Spain beat Portugal.
Yeah.
Okay. So the winner of this one will get Spain. So it's not going to get any easier. Belgium, I think the United States has the edge in this match. But again, I mean, we'll see. I thought Mexico was going to have a good chance against England, and England goes out to that 2-0 lead. And then, of course, you see what we're talking about with the FIFA refs, the SEC FIFA refs, and the red card that was called against England was not a red card. I mean, it was a tackle. It should have been a yellow card, but to kick that guy off. And again, like I said, for them to have a chance at the end, because the one thing I love about soccer is if you give them 10, 11 minutes, if one team is driving down to try to score a goal, they keep going until the ball is cleared and the other team has possession, and then they'll call time. So you want to talk about tense. Imagine, Mexico's down 1 goal, and they had 2 or 3 opportunities with crosses and shots on goal to tie it up. And then once I believe it was 11 minutes, the 12th, 13th minute, England cleared the ball and they called time. So it's just been interesting watching how all this is playing out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. And yeah, I think it was like, I saw a video that it was like 2 a.m. and the Mexico fans were outside of the hotel of the English fans shooting off fireworks and, things of that nature. And it's getting down. I mean, it was all, it's still all fun and games.
Yes.
It's just a lot more intense now that you're down to the 16 teams.
Well, and they had a big watch party in Springdale last night. I seen where they, after the game, they were dancing. I mean, that's the thing. It's like there's a lot of countries who take pride in this. There's a lot of countries who, man, this is it for them. And we're seeing a glimpse of real fan bases. We feel like we're blessed with college football. We feel like we are, what we see on a Saturday or March Madness. But the fact that you are seeing 800,000 people in Mexico City celebrating their win the other day. You good?
Oh, it's just now starting to pour. That storm's moving in here.
Oh yeah, it did move through us, but no, yeah. I mean, seeing what we think is crowds is minuscule. They said there was 20,000. I was listening to Ruskin and Zach's show, and he said in Seattle alone there was 20,000 there watching a watch party. I mean, we don't understand what a real fan base is, and I think I mentioned it last night. I was watching a broadcast where they were talking about darts, and there was 10,000 people at a dart match overseas. That would draw 10 to 15 people here. I mean, it's just insane. So I love it. I'm going to be sad when it's over with, because I mean, it has brought back a lot of fandom moments. It has brought a lot of emotions back of the world coming together. And I wish it continues on, but I think as fast as it goes out, we're just going to go right back to the way we were.
Oh yeah. All good things must come to an end, unfortunately. So I think July 19th is the finale. So
yeah,
something around there. So, we've got a couple more weeks to enjoy it, and we'll see how things go. But tonight WWE gets put on the back burner, and the World Cup will be front and center.
Another thing is too, I mean, it lines up perfectly. I don't know when SEC Media Days is, but
July like 23rd-ish, like right after
the finals, and then next week, because we're getting right into football season. And then I don't have it upstairs with me tonight, but Hooten's magazine come out. Guys, go to your local Walmart and get I call it the unofficial official start to high school football in the state of Arkansas. The Hooten's magazine's out. If you do not know the story about the Village Academy Beavers, they do have them listed in there. One of the teams, and
I forgot about
you
this.
Remember?
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, there was back in the day, they used to call in the scores to the newspaper and call in the scores. Well, they kept on getting their town wrong, Jessieville, and so they made up a fake school. All right, this didn't last for a week. It didn't last for 6 weeks. It lasted for 4 years. And you know who the biggest snitch was? It was a principal at Jessieville who snitched on his own people, or this thing could have been going on for 6 to 10 years. It is incredible. So look, it's just I remember Steve Sullivan had a Village Academy Beavers jersey on one time during a Friday Night Lights broadcast. You can go to Brock City, their t-shirt company, and you can buy a Village Academy Beavers t-shirt. So it's just a running joke within everybody in the state of Arkansas, but I'm looking forward to football season. You got the Special Olympics flag going on behind me, but here in a few short weeks, I might do it next week, because we got the magazine, put my Ozark Hillbillies banner back up. So it's almost here. It's flown by, Adam. I'm really surprised. I thought it was going to be a long summer, but I tell you what, it's flying by, and football summer camp will be here before you know it.
Yeah, we've got, still the World Cup for a couple of weeks. We've got the Pro Hogs going in the summer league. Camp's going to be starting soon. And then SEC Media Days starting July 31st. You have the men's basketball team in that Bahamas Classic.
Yes.
So yeah, we've got a lot. And then turn around in August. I mean, it's going to be guns blazing for Arkansas football.
Yeah, you're talking about Pro Hogs. I mean, I think it's good that we have a couple of guys that are going into summer league and they're producing. We've seen what Darius Acuff did. I know a lot of people was talking about shooting it, 29 times and he had 25 points, but I'm telling you that's where we are. That's what's going to happen. I mean, but if he can give you 20 to 25 a night, and think about this, what if that was a bad game, Adam? What if that was an off night for him? What if he caught fire and went 14 for 28 or 14 out of 20?
If he knocked down 4 or 5 more shots, I mean, it would have been, he'd been looking at, 35 to 40 points.
Yeah. And if he can give you the free throws, he gives you 6, 7, 8 free throws a game, but here's some clips of it. I mean, he's going to be a good player. That mid-range, just, you do that 1-2 dribble stop in this new day and age of lack of defense in the NBA. He's going to average. I'll say it right now. I would be surprised if he didn't. He averaged under 16 a game.
He's got it in him.
I don't want to strike it too far and say 20, but I'll go 16, 17 a game.
Well, and he's on a team that he's going to be able to do that. The Kings just released DeMar DeRozan today, so that's going to free up.
Oh man,
somebody that's going to demand the ball. So I feel like he's going to be a day one starter.
Yeah. And that lob right there. And then I believe you were talking, you're the one that mentioned last night. He had the game winning assist. So he's not going to just be a shooter. He is going to distribute the ball as well.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And he had, I think, the 3 assists or whatever it was. And I mean, there was 2 alley-oops and then the one for the game winning shot. So he draws attention, and he's already learning this one right here. I think it was an and one, but he's already learned how to, I'm not going to say manipulate the refs, but take that little bump as he's going up to shoot to get the advantage from the refs.
Yeah, and he does have to be careful with that because they are really starting to crack down on the whole flop when you come down landing. I know they got to give them room, but if you're leaning into the shot and then shoot, I mean, it's just they're really trying to start cracking down, which I'm glad. I hope they do, because we're just seeing a lot of freaking flopping. We're seeing a lot. What I don't understand is the guy can be standing straight up playing defense. You shoot the ball and you come down and then they just fall down. And then they're calling that a foul. I don't understand. And then don't get me started on the gather step and the one, don't even get me started on that crap, because it's like you're allowed to take 4 or 5 steps. They're like, no, he did a gather step. Then he could take as many steps as he can until he touches the ball. And I'm like, dude, you just took 7 steps. It's not even close.
And a lot of it too, I think the players are doing what the refs are allowing, and the refs need to go back and have, have some things looked at.
Well, back in our day, I mean, we actually took charges, and you would, if you yelled loud enough, you could get a charge called or you flopped. I mean, we did it all the time, drawing charges, but it's getting to the point where it's not, if in today's technology and cameras everywhere, you're seeing just this, like the other day in the WNBA, Angel Reese swung like this and was like that far away from the girl's nose. It wasn't even close, and she just threw herself on the ground. And they gave her a foul.
We've seen your boy King James do that his entire career. But,
yeah,
and that's, I know a lot of, like, you go back when Jordan played, and yes, was Jordan in the ears of every referee? Damn straight he was.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you didn't have the cameras, the microphones, and all that stuff. But the game was called completely different. We've just seen over the last 10 to 15 years, probably more than that, 15, 20 years, the referees just giving it to the offensive player or the star. Just like this last season, there's no reason for SGA in Oklahoma City to be averaging over 20 free throws per game.
Yeah.
And that's one reason we're seeing now. So they're doing this test in the summer league, and they've been doing this in the G League since 2019. But to speed up the game, if you get fouled while shooting a 3, you're going to shoot 1 free throw, and if you make it, you get 3 points. You're not going to shoot 3 free throws. But in the final 2 minutes of the game, it goes back to how it normally goes. So if you go up and you're shooting a jump shot and you get fouled, you get 1 shot for 2 points. And they're just testing it in the summer. And I know it's going to be something that doesn't come officially to the league. They're just testing, because my deal with it is retrain your refs to stop calling all the ticky tacks, and you'll stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
And start calling maybe technicals on these players that are flopping.
Well, they were supposed to. They had a flop rule. They were supposed to, but it's gotten worse.
And I just look at it like from the standpoint of and mindset of the game of basketball. How many games have we seen over the years where, you're sitting down there, say, into the first half or any point in the game, really. So say you're not in the final 2 minutes, but you're right outside of it, and say it's a close game. You get fouled on a 3. You're telling me that you're not going to let that guy shoot 3 free throws, and just the pressure that comes with it, you're going to allow him to shoot 1 free throw for the points? I don't agree with it.
Yeah, and I don't like the fact we're changing it, and it's here 1 minute, and then if it's the last 2 minutes, we're going back to this. I don't understand what they're trying to get out of that. Are they trying to speed the game? I don't understand.
That's what they're trying to do.
Speed up the game. We'll stop calling flops all the time. Make them play defense. Let them play defense. And because you know what's killing the game? Up and down the court, shooting 70. What they do last year, was it last year or the year before last? The Bulls and the Hornets missed 75 threes in one game.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
It's ridiculous. So I think a lot of things need to change, but I think it's fundamentals. I don't think it's anything to do with how we're going to call fouls and how we're going to shoot free throws. I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well just bring the Elam ending in.
I like, they did it that 1 year in
for the All-Star game.
All-Star game. Yeah. That needs to be like,
The only caveat to that, I think I like the Elam ending, but I hate that it can end on a free throw.
Yeah,
I don't agree. If they would take that part out of it, that would be the perfect ending, because it's almost like the last shot, last points in 21. You want some serious basketball, have a 2-point game where the last bucket, or if you got to go to 75, but you can't win it on a free throw. I think that would make for some intense. You talking about the NBA Finals or the playoffs? It's I think that would be the perfect ending.
And as we're seeing, Adrian Thero, he continues just to be a stat filler. He's playing in the summer league. He's just buying his time, like trying to gain more notoriety on the roster. Especially, you've got a big turnover on this roster now. So I think at this point with Adrian Thero, it's like you've got to find a place for him permanently. And I posted the video on Hog Talk earlier from one of the games this weekend, but his vertical, and he's going up for a board. He gets bumped and his elbow is above the rim, and it's just insane. Yeah. But no, this is what the summer league's for these guys. Yep. I believe starting July 9th or July 10th, you'll have another round of summer league games. So we'll start seeing some of the other pro hogs getting in. These ones will end here in the next few days. So speaking of that, so it's 6:30 on ESPNU, the Lakers play. So I believe Thero will play again. Okay. Acuff sat out yesterday, but he will play tonight at 9 p.m. on ESPNU.
So you're talking about today at 6:30?
Yeah, they're playing at 6:30 against the Spurs.
Yeah. ESPNU.
And then at 9 o'clock, the Kings will play on ESPNU, and Darius Acuff is playing
against Milwaukee. Yeah. So those games are on ESPNU Prime Video as well. If you have Prime, I like that they're able to do that. And look, honestly, when this first started, Summer League, nobody was tuning in. I love the fact that people actually watch it. They're actually playing.
And tonight, against Milwaukee, Acuff will be going up against the Arizona guard that he went up against in the NCAA tournament. Burris, something like that. He plays for Milwaukee, so they'll be going against each other tonight. I think when Arkansas and Arizona played, Acuff had 25 and he had 23. So I mean, it was a battle for both of them.
And so Ty chimed in, Brawny.
Hey, it's his team now. The Mayo mob and Brawny.
I love somebody posted that I don't know what meme or what show they used it off of, but they were talking about he said, Dad, I can't believe we're going here, and he's like, I'm going, you're not going. I'm going. Oh, but yeah, that's a weird thing too, is this whole LeBron issue, which, if we want to get into it next segment, while we're talking about it, to me, the funniest thing about it was and I don't know if Rich Paul's doing this to troll. I don't know what's going on with his agent. But when he said, well, we were going to try to go play for the Knicks, but they won an NBA championship. Now we're not going to go play for the Knicks. But I thought rings didn't matter. I thought we got away from this ring culture of he wants to go somewhere to try to build and win a world championship there, so he can say, oh, well, I did that.
So I can see that, but then at the same time, I look at it like after, because we see this across all sports. After a championship is won, more money gets shelled out to your roster. You lose players to other teams. You pay more money to keep other players. A lot of it probably comes down to money that the Knicks aren't going to be able to pay for it. I personally could see him back in Cleveland, which I think would just be whatever. Yeah. Honestly, I think it comes down to Cleveland or Golden State, because I think that him and Steph Curry have wanted to team up for years.
All right. So, and I'm not saying you are a LeBron guy. I'm just saying if he ends up going to Golden State, I think the GOAT issue should never be talked about again, because you made a big deal about, well, KD had to go to the Golden State to do blah, 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 blah. We couldn't we had to do this to beat the 73-9. You made such a big deal about KD going to the Golden State Warriors. You have not done anything outside the bubble with LA. And guess what? Now you're going to go join the Golden State Warriors, which honestly, they're going to end up being like the 2004 Rockets or something like that, where they had Pippen and Karl Malone and Clyde. Wasn't it around 04? Remember when the Rockets had Karl Malone,
well,
Barkley.
I'd even look at a few years
later. No, not
later.
Karl Malone. They had Barkley. They had Barkley and Pippen and Drexler.
Well, I'd even look at a few years later with the Lakers.
Yeah, with
when you had
that
Shaq,
was Karl Malone.
Yeah. When you had that team, that you're just like, oh crap, and then they lost.
Yeah.
So I look at it like I'm not a LeBron guy. I enjoy watching him play.
Yeah.
Just because I enjoy watching, the best play in the league. I would enjoy seeing it because I like their chemistry. I loved seeing them play together in the Olympics. I can't see that two guys aren't going to win it, and you're losing Draymond Green because I believe he entered free agency. So it's going to be a different time. I know you have Steve Kerr. I just don't see it happening. Do what you want at this point. I am ready for the end. I'm ready for the exit. So it's not I know you don't want to do a retirement tour, but please do a retirement tour.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen. He's gonna. They showed him at the club the other night, and he's dancing around. But it's to me, it's way past the point of there's nothing he can do to say he's the GOAT. There's nothing that he can do that will ever get me to change my mind. And I always bring up the 2011 Dallas series where he was the 5th leading scorer in the series. When you combine both teams, you were with the Heat. You were with the Heat. You had the super team, and when you were up 2-1, by God, you had no problem mocking Dirk because he was sick and doing all this. And to me, he's never been a leader. He's been a let's join up with whoever. Look at AD when they were in the playoffs. AD led the stats, most of the stats.
I see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say is look at the roster of the Cleveland teams he took to the finals.
I understand
the first go around. It was you and Zydrunas Ilgauskas that, basically, and a bunch of nobodies that he single-handedly took. Now, was he ready for it? No. But
you look at freaking Michael Jordan, the crackheads he had to deal with. They're doing coke after the game.
He was 1-9 though before he got Pippen and Phil Jackson.
But would LeBron take that Cavs team and beat the Celtics of the 80s? Would they have beaten the Pistons?
They couldn't play in that era.
And that's the thing. It's like they want to say, well, he was 1-9 against Pippen, and that's their only argument. But I will say this. Okay, I'll give you the Pippen. But when Pippen come into the league, he was a baby deer. He got to develop Pippen into what he needed him to be. When LeBron goes to Miami, he got teamed up with 2 All-Stars. When he went to Cleveland the second time, because we're talking about, he couldn't win with Pippen. Well, LeBron didn't win at all in Cleveland the first time. So he had Wade and Bosh and Allen in Miami. Then he goes with Kyrie and Love in Cleveland, and then got, good God, he had the freaking West All-Stars his whole tenure in LA. You go, if you want to throw AR in there, Austin Reeves, Luka, Russ, 80, which I know Russ was hurt a lot, but it's the fact that he has had all this help. And Michael Jordan has more three-peats than LeBron has back-to-backs. There's so much when it comes to just the mentality of the game that I'm like, there's not a comparison when it comes to who's the GOAT, in my opinion.
Oh, if you want to, go down to that, the work ethic, things of that nature. And I don't want to take anything away from what his work ethic may be, but just, The Last Dance documentary, obviously, everything that we have seen come out after Kobe Bryant's death, but with his work, all the stories and this and that, like there's never going to be anybody else that works like Michael Jordan did and Kobe Bryant did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hands down, not going to happen because nobody has that mentality these days. And it is what it is. You can have the debates all you want. everybody wants to throw up stats or points or this and that. And I just look at it like LeBron's been in the league for 23 years now, 24 years now. I would hope he has all these records because of longevity.
Exactly.
And more power to him.
Now 8 years longer.
And I'll say this too, the fans that come out and say like, oh, well, Michael Jordan was playing against plumbers and this and that and the other. I go back to two different players on two different podcasts and interviews that have been out there. Rasheed Wallace was one and Kevin Garnett was one. And they were both talking about Joe Klein and how strong he was. Mm-hmm. And Kevin Garnett said his basically welcome to the NBA moment was Joe Klein putting him on his back.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, y'all want to talk about plumbers, but then you have these Hall of Famers talking about Joe Klein being the strongest guy that they had ever gone against.
Yeah. They do that. It's just a lot of reaching. It's a lot of things that go into, well, we're seeing, and because here's the deal. If LeBron was really the GOAT, we wouldn't need all these faceless freaking Twitter accounts. We wouldn't need a Rich Paul. Michael Jordan didn't have a Rich Paul. He didn't have a Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart coming in there and giving this speech on why. He wasn't doing a whole podcast. And then, of course, you hire JJ Redick as your coach and your best friend that you were doing podcasts with. There was a lot of this PR stuff that you're if you say it long enough to enough people, they're going to believe their own lies. And that's what's happening. MJ didn't need to be. And everybody wants to talk about this freaking documentary about The Last Dance. We got to remember that was COVID. There was a lot of it that gave us something to watch. It gave us something to enjoy during COVID because there was no sports. There was nothing. And when they released that was amazing.
I mean, we were sitting here one night watching a video game simulation of our Arkansas red-white game.
Yes.
During COVID, because that was the only sports that we had.
Yes.
I mean,
absolutely.
That's what we did.
I mean,
what a time to be alive.
That's the time that COVID was a crazy time. And, I know that everybody wants to throw, well, he couldn't stand LeBron and LeBron was inching towards him. So he brought out The Last Dance. But I'm telling you, it got a lot of people to really see the biggest moment for me that I remember about The Last Dance. And he was talking about how his teammates, like he was a hard ass and he was doing this. And he said, I didn't ask them to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. And he went on this rap and he had to take a break. Like he started like getting choked up. Mm-hmm. Okay. 20 freaking years later and was still getting choked up talking about how much the game meant to him. Mm-hmm. And then you just talk about the old school players when who was it? All the Smoke podcast.
Mm-hmm. Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson was talking about when they were playing for the Hornets and they lost a game and Jordan come in there and was talking crap and got on the practice squad, the second team, and was running with the twos against the ones. And they said, and they beat us. Mm-hmm. At 51 years old. I don't care if it was the Charlotte Hornets. 50 years old, he was sitting there smoking them. I mean, that's
Bobcats at the time.
Yeah, Charlotte Bobcats, yes. And so it's just, he just had this mentality of if you have to make lies up, and there was so many stories that come out later that it never happened. I think he said, well, this guy said something about me in the newspaper, or blah, blah, and he made it up. He made shit up to sit there and fuel him so he would win. I mean, it's psycho.
There's one clip I know that's out there, and it was a deal, I believe it was a Chicago versus Orlando. And this is when Jordan had came back wearing number 45.
Yes.
And the guy told him, standing next to him, he said, 45 isn't 23. In the next game, which I still don't know how this worked because, how it is now in the NBA, there's a certain time period of when you can change your number. But the very next game, they let Jordan come back wearing number 23.
Trump did it, man.
But at the end of the game, Jordan was shooting free throws and he missed one intentionally. And they asked him why. And he looked up at the scoreboard and he had 45 points. If he had made that free throw, he would have had 46. But he left it at 45 points.
Yeah. Well, you talk about like another one, Larry Bird. You talk about Jamal Mashburn was talking about when they went and played the Dream Team. And Larry Bird was on his last leg. And they're like, oh, you ain't hit a jump shot since 84 and continued to score nine times in a row, and was telling him how he was going to do it, where it was going to go. He was playing horse with him off the backboard, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, it's not 84 anymore. I mean, it was a different breed. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of it is there's so much involved with money nowadays and they want to team up and they want to be buddies, that they want to play together, as opposed to they don't. Like, what team hates each other anymore? Where's the rivalries at when it comes to these two teams are getting together? And I think it died when LeBron and Golden State. I don't think we had like another rivalry.
No, because even the Lakers Celtics isn't what it used to be.
Yeah, no. Is there you watch it more than I do. Is there a rivalry in basketball?
I think there's team-wise, no. I think there's players that dislike each other, so then when those teams go against each other, it's heated. But no, I don't feel like there's rivalries anymore. Because even if you go back to the early to mid 2000s, with the Suns and the Lakers, I mean, they hated each other. Raj Bell and Kobe Bryant going at it game by. I mean, every time they played each other, somebody's putting their arm around somebody's neck and bringing them to the ground. This, that, and the other. It's not what it used to be. And I know the league, ever since Malice at the Palace, they've tried to mitigate and get in between all the hostility and this, that, and the other. I remember watching that live.
Yeah, that was insane.
But it's definitely not what. And I think that's just the way that today's culture is. And I think some of it too. A lot of these guys, way back in the day, you didn't have travel ball, you didn't have AAU.
Yeah.
Like it was
you had a little AAU and BCI or something.
You were just in your high schools.
Yep.
You didn't know all these other players. And I think now when you've got travel ball, AAU, all this other stuff, you're allowing all these players to transfer to these academies and free will move where you want. And all these players get to know each other. You have cell phones and social media now, how it is these days. These guys are buddies.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of the issues why you don't have these rivalries anymore.
Yeah. What we're going to take a quick commercial break. After the break, we're going to finish up the podcast. Second segment, we're going to talk a little bit of football, summer camp coming up, SEC Media Days. We kind of touched on it last night about the low-hanging fruit, but if you want to throw that up. Before we go to break, guys, if you want to get in on the action and you want to be a sponsor of the Hog Talk podcast, there are sponsorship opportunities available, multiple tiers for small business owners all the way up to the corporate level. So if you're interested in advertising on the Hog Talk podcast, DM us for more information and pricing. We have a lot of new stuff coming up, and at the end of the show, I will mention what we have coming up on Fridays leading up to football and during football season. So, Adam, do not let me forget to do that, because I'm getting my own head and I forget where I'm at. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. After the break, we'll talk some Razorback football. Searching for premium brewery products that will take your daily routine to the next level? Look no further than Sterling Soap Company. Our handmade soaps, aftershaves, and balms are made with only the finest ingredients that give you the ultimate grooming experience. With a variety of scents to choose from, there's something for everyone. Plus, our products are crafted in small batches to ensure the highest level of quality. So why wait? Visit www.sterlingsoap.com or visit our retail store at 16 West Walnut Street in Paris, Arkansas. Shop our collection and discover the difference for yourself. Upgrade your grooming routine with Sterling Soap Company. Are you looking for a place to grab a cold drink and some delicious food? Look no further than Arkansas Brewing Company. Located at 201 South 1st Street in beautiful downtown Ozark, our establishment offers a wide selection of craft beers and tasty eats. But what sets us apart is our welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. At Arkansas Brewing Company, you'll always feel like part of the family. So visit Destiny and Christopher Brockett and staff today and see for yourself what makes us the go-to spot for locals and visitors alike. Arkansas Brewing Company, come for the drinks and stay for the friends. Attention DIYers and home improvement enthusiasts. Are you searching for the right tools and the supplies to tackle your next project? Look no further than Mentor's Hardware Store. With locations in Ozark, Alma, and Clarksville, our vast selection of hardware and building materials is sure to have everything you need, whether you're fixing a leaky faucet or building a new deck. Plus, our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to offer expert advice and guidance. And with our competitive prices and convenient online ordering, Mentor's Hardware Store is your one-stop shop for all your DIY needs. Visit us today and let's build something amazing together. Are you looking to take your career to the next level? Look no further than ATU Ozark Campus. As a 2-year satellite campus of Arkansas Tech University, we're dedicated to a quality workforce education, industry partnerships for in-demand jobs, and tailored paths for success. Our programs are led by industry professionals. Whether it's a certificate or you're aiming for a graduate degree, ATU Ozark has you covered. Visit our website at www.atu.edu/Ozark or contact us at 479-667-2117. Your future begins here. Welcome to Ozark Area Chamber of Commerce, where our mission is simple: encourage, promote, and aid an enduring environment of shared economic opportunity and civic development for the Ozark, Arkansas area. Whether you're a local business owner or a resident, we've got something for you. Shop our unique local businesses, explore the beauty of Ozark, and savor local flavors and find cozy accommodations. Join us in building a stronger community. And to learn more, contact us at 479-667-2525. Remember, together we thrive. And welcome back to the Hog Talk Podcast. I forgot to put that poll up at the beginning. So if you're in the comments section, we got the poll up. Who's going to win tonight? USA, Belgium. And during the break, I was explaining to the TikTok crew, we're just trying it out. So look, tell everybody if they're not able to join on Facebook, we are going live on Facebook right now. You can only see my ugly mug. And so I don't know if they can hear Adam. So I'm just trying to figure this thing out. So I don't even know if people are even able to write in the comments. I can see who's joined and all this stuff, but I can't see any comments at all. And I don't know if it's because I'm just doing anything. I don't know. Maybe you could beta test it, Adam, and turn the volume down and join the Ozark or TikTok page and see if you can drop a comment in the section. Because again, my old head, I have to have somebody do technical stuff for me. But what we're going to do is jump into football right now. I kind of was thinking about my comments last night with Ryan Silverfield, and I really want to with Ryan Silverfield. It says you're joining as a guest.
Well,
but I mean, but the thing is, I can't see is if somebody left a comment. I mean, that's what I'm trying to see.
No, there's no comments on there.
Okay. Well, nobody's just leaving comments. Okay. I just didn't know if maybe you could type one in and see if I can see it.
Here. Test.
Yeah, test. I see your comment. Okay. Hey, Adam Hall, first comment of the night. All right. All right. We got 3 people streaming right now. But what I was getting into last night is it happens every year with the national media who know the Arkansas fan base. And I don't want to name names because I don't know if they're the ones that, well, I'll say it, but I'm not saying they've said anything. But, your big guys like Jake Crane, Josh Pate, all of those guys. They want to talk about Arkansas and they want to rank them 16th and they want to do this and that. I think it's low-hanging fruit. I think the fact is they know what they say, and whether the Razorback fans believe it or not, you rank Arkansas last at anything, or you say they have the worst quarterback or they're going to have the worst record, it's easy to get that engagement. And I think that's what's happening is the fact that it's hey, Ty's offering to buy you a mic stand. So, hey,
I know I'm kind of getting used to this.
Go through Link U, man, or the what is it? The Edge or Link U or Blue Point or whatever one they
went. Hunter Yurachek.
Yeah, go to Hunter Yurachek. So
you got money,
but it kind of makes me want to root for Arkansas more. I don't know why. Maybe it's a thing that maybe I'm just hoping. Maybe my juju will hope this team gets to 6 wins because the fact is there's only so many times you can kick a dog, and the guy ain't even had a chance yet. And everybody's like, oh, he's this, he's the worst, but he's actually a decent coach. But the kicker is they're putting him below people that, one, have the same kind of program that Arkansas does, and he's beat them. That's where I have the issue with it.
Well, and I think a lot of it too is there's still a lot of the media, and I mean us included, some fans included, that we go back to 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
Like just the downfall since then. And I think that sticks in the back. And then the way that it ended with Sam Pittman. And I just think it's the culmination of the past 7, 8 years, whatever, that are doing it. But like you just said too, you can easily rile up the Arkansas fan base.
Yeah.
With the simplest of things or with something that's whatever. But there was a SEC Unfiltered posted today, asking fans what they thought Arkansas's record was going to be. And I saw some 7-5, some 6-6s. I saw a 2-10. I put 3-9 on there, just because that's what I'm rolling with. But like we discussed last night, I'm going to take it game by game, just like we did this last season.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, we see it all day long too. Even when if it's ESPN or if it's SEC's social media pages or whatever, they post an Arkansas video, it's going to get a crap ton of views, shares, comments, this, that. And, I mean, it's going to take off. And I just look at it like Arkansas is the easy target.
Yep.
And so that's what they're rolling. It doesn't take much thought for them just to put Arkansas at the back end and then move forward. And they'll get a lot of engagement for next to nothing.
Yeah, and it could be one of the things where they don't even believe that Arkansas is the word. They could be like, well, Ryan Silverfield's the 10th best coach. Well, if you put him at 10th, they're going to be like, okay, that doesn't get the engagement. That don't get the clicks. The fact that they're putting him at 16th. But you also have local media who's swore up and down for the last 10 years that Arkansas is going to go 11-2. It happens, but I guess Adam, I don't know if it's like, I don't want to sound like I feel sorry for the guy, but I want him to do well.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I think that he has proven himself to be a good head coach. He won at Memphis. He's got Power 4 wins at Memphis. It's one of them things that beat Arkansas, and the fact is that they still want to bash him. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I guess so. Maybe I guess I do feel sorry for him in a sense, and I want him to do well on that stance alone.
I want him to do well in the sense of I want this team to be good.
Yes.
Just like we've talked about before, I don't like coming in here week in and week out talking about another loss.
Yeah.
It's tiring. It gets old. It makes you not want to do this sometimes. I have nothing against him as a coach. It was just, I think some of it was, like a lot of people have said, like he wasn't the first pick. And I get that. But at the same time, when you just went 2-10, you don't get your pick of the litter.
Exactly.
And I just look at it like, hey, I mean, I'm going to give him a chance. I'm just throwing out a prediction, but I'm not going to sit here and bash their team or bash this or bash the. I may pick apart a post that they make on social media just because I'm like, oh, here we go again, 22 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, I'll give him some grace a little bit. I want to see how this team performs. I'm not going to be calling for his head after year one. I think that he'll do better than 2-10. I'll tell you that much. And again, he's coming into this a little bit too with, I feel like, and we don't know the numbers obviously, but with essentially one arm tied behind his back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so, I mean, he's at a disadvantage coming into this.
Yeah. And the fact that, the funding, all we're seeing is, and everybody's making a big deal about the naming rights, which I understand that. I'm glad they finally did it, but it's almost the fact that you're hurting so much for NIL. I want to see that number come up. I want to see them get more help in the NIL front. And they're saying he's, the thing that rubbed me the wrong way is the fact that he said he spent 90% of the time he's been a head coach at Arkansas on fundraising. All right, if that is true, then what the hell is going on? You have GMs. You've had 3. You're working on your 3rd collective. You have Learfield. You have an AD. Why is your head coach in one of the most important seasons in Razorback sports when you're trying to rebuild your program? Why do you got the man out there fundraising?
It's a valid question. I mean, there's no reason for your coach to be doing this. And I remember hearing there was some interview, and it was, I forget which coach it was with, but it was something that he had basically when he was at Memphis, when it came down to like money and things like that, whether it was NIL players, whatever, he wasn't afraid to just go ask for it.
Yeah.
And he would get it. And basically, I mean, it was because they had FedEx in their back pocket. And I just wonder, like, has he done that here? Has he been able to do that here? Does he feel like he needs to? Because if he's out here, you know, fundraising, it's like, who are you going to be fundraising? When, you know, but when you had it, now granted, you were at Memphis a little bit. You're new here. A lot of people, like we've talked about, they want to see results before they want to pay you. But at the same time, it's who's coaching? I mean, I know you got your position coaches, your assistant coaches, whatever. But are you getting a good grip on who your team is if you're spending all your time fundraising? And then, like we saw in baseball, now they have a GM, which, you know, former Razorback. I get it, whatever. But I just look at, hey, there's another salary.
Yeah, pretty much what's going to happen is it's the fact that they're going to have this rev share, and you're going to have your $20.5 million that's going to go to the football team. And if you're having to go to Dave Van Horn and say you need to fundraise your own team, tennis program, fundraise your own team. If all these programs are going to have to go do their own fundraising, it's going to get tricky because they're going to be tapping in the same wells. They're going to be having to and then what is that going to do for the athletic program when you let's say you have the softball team competing with the soccer team? What are you going to do when you got like Choose Arkansas? They're doing something great, but the fact, and you want to talk about, you want somebody to do good, but they can't be too good. They wanted to, when they first started this, they wanted to be strictly Arkansas, but they wouldn't let them. So now they're representing all the universities in Arkansas, which is cool. Choose Arkansas is going to be a great thing once it gets the ball rolling. And I think the fact that you talking about rooting for Ryan Silverfield, I'm rooting for Choose Arkansas just to come in and outperform anything. I want people to be lined up like Black Friday to donate to Choose Arkansas because, one, all the money goes to NIL, and two, they are willing to help the women's sports. They want to go after the smaller programs. The fact that he has been told that, okay, we've got football covered and you got basketball covered. They're going after baseball. They're going off all the other programs. So I want them to win because I want them to prove that it can be done and it will be done.
Well, and just like we've talked about with the raffle and other things, it's not going to the players.
Nope.
And that's what it was originally tried to be portrayed, and it's not. Choose Arkansas is the only thing that is, besides players' own personal NIL deals that they get, Choose Arkansas is the only thing that is trying to benefit these players.
Yeah. And they're doing it, and they're a third party. They're not connected. They're their own entity. They can't tell them what they can and can't do with their money. And that's another thing I love about it. So, and the fact that I'm telling you, the right donor comes in and pledges 10, what is Hunter Yurchek going to do when that first person comes in and they said, I want to be the sole funder, not sole funder, but I want to be the big baller, and I'm not going to give to the foundation anymore. I'm giving my $5 million to Choose Arkansas.
Okay. Oh, he'll throw a fit.
Yeah. But there's nothing you can do about it. So, But that's where we're at, guys. Before I forget, Adam, you don't have to remind me. We're going to be doing, I don't know, we got to get the logistics start. It might be this Friday. I don't know. Andrew Hutchinson of Best of Arkansas Sports has agreed to come on Fridays to talk some sports. We'll go live. I believe it's going to be around noon, 1 o'clock-ish. We're going to get that all typed out and get all that stuff. So look forward to every Friday, we'll probably talk some Razorback football, and then we'll get into game day talk, of course, the closer it gets to season and in season. But I'm really looking forward to Andrew coming on and talking with us each week. So, guys, that's going to be something else on top of our Sunday shows. We'll probably go back to do our Sundays during football season. And you never know. It might be the thing where we do 2 shows a week and that as well. So a lot of good things coming with the Hog Talk podcast. Don't forget, please like, share. Don't forget also Hog HQ Live comes on every Sunday. So depending on where we are, we do a double duty on Sunday. Adam, I know he pulling a double shift on Sundays. But, I mean, the fact that we're teaming up with Best of Arkansas Sports, we're big promoters of Choose Arkansas. We are wanting to get things rolling in the right direction with the Hog Talk podcast. So want to thank everybody who has stuck with us from the beginning. We're going in we've been, 4 years together
this
now?
Summer is 3 years for us.
3 years for us together. Year 7 for me solo with the Hog Talk podcast. So I'll have to do a big 10-year anniversary with the Hog Talk, maybe get myself a cookie cake or something like that, crumble. So, but that will do it. I want to thank the 2 people who joined us live on TikTok. Hey, we're trying new things. So if you spread the word, we're going to be going live on TikTok each week on our Monday show. But for Adam Hall, I'm Porter Hayes. Adam, you got anything else?
Nope. Go watch the World Cup.
Yes. What time? It's 7:02. So USA football time. So go America and God bless America. We'll catch you on Monday. I go here in my mic like you were. It's going to be like Adam.